I have a question for everybody. Where are all the indie adventure novelists? There's there's a lot of you romance authors out there, and that's fine. No shade against romance, obviously, but as someone who's been working really hard to redefine the adventure genre as its own genre, separate from sci-fi and fantasy, the adventure genre, I'm really curious to see who's writing adventure novels. What does adventure mean? It's not a setting. Adventure can happen in any setting, sci-fi, fantasy, anywhere, anytime, any place. Adventure can happen. Adventure is defined as a type of story, not the setting of the story. So let me explain. The most classic example is Lord of the Rings. It is a classic adventure story because it follows the adventure narrative, point A to point B, through a land of magic, land of excitement, land of something new, and there's obstacles, but they have a goal in mind. Adventure requires the characters primarily to travel through a new kind of world. Maybe it's new for us and it's kind of mundane for them, but most of the time, in order to convey that sense of adventure, it has to be an adventure for the main character, right? Frodo and Bilbo go on an adventure. They make that point right up front. They even call it an adventure, right? Because they're leaving home to travel through magical lands filled with all sorts of different kinds of uh, peoples and places. By contrast, going to school is not an adventure. There might be trials and tribulations, but if you're in the same place for the entire story and you're working within a structured setup where people know what's happening and where you're supposed to be and all that sort of stuff, that's not an adventure. That's going to school. So, Harry Potter, all those other Harry Potter knockoffs, those aren't adventure stories. They might take place in magical worlds we've never seen before, but they're not traveling through those lands. They're going to school, right? So that's not adventure. And I'm sure there's plenty of romance books out there that do have adventure as part of the story structure, where the characters have to travel from point A to point B in search of something or to find something, and they're going through a new world filled with magic and danger. Like that's fine. Adventure romance, I'm very interested in also because it's part of the adventure genre. The reason I'm asking this is because I'm doing pretty well here on TikTok. Thank you for everyone for following, and I've really been enjoying watching other people write their books too. That's been fun. I've been enjoying that, but it has been a little lonely, I guess you could say, when I'm swiping through and it's romance, 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 and then like dark fantasy romance, and then really dark romance, and then lighthearted fun romance, and it's like, oh, okay, where's the adventure novels? Where are the characters who are traveling through magical lands, and that's the story, right? I'm very interested in defining this genre, which I feel has been so long neglected and grouped in with action, right? Action adventure. Action is a completely different genre from adventure. So it's night and day different between. Yeah, obviously there's going to be some action in your adventure, but maybe not. And a action novel might not take place in any sort of adventurous type of situation. So lumping the two together just dilutes both and kind of pushes them off to the side. Where I really feel like adventure is its own genre. It always has been its own genre. And I just want to find other adventure novelists, indie adventure novelists. So I'm asking for everybody to drop book recommendations. It's the first time I've done this. I'm just going to make a list on my website. I might not even share it with anybody. Maybe I will if there's any interest, but I'm just curious about drawing up a list of fellow my peers, basically, where I can have more conversations specifically tailored towards the adventure genre, because I have a lot I want to talk about and a lot of questions I want to ask other adventure novelists about how they approach different aspects of story design and such. Um, and, kind of feel a bit more like I'm not just a crazy loner who's trying to reinvent the genres for his own benefit. I mean, I am, but you get the. So, to recap, in summary, what I'm asking for is book and author recommendations in which the primary story is adventure, where the character or characters travel through exciting new lands. We know what adventure is, going on an adventure, right? Having an adventure, whether it's deliberately or against their will, the adventure genre. That's what I'd like to really start to promote and define and find like minded authors and, build up adventure indie author talk. All right. Any Rex would be helpful. Again, as long as it doesn't take place in a fantasy high school, that'd be great. Thank you.